bastard is my best friend, who asked me to introduce him for this award. And how do you get up here and talk about your best friend who has been your emergency contact more than half your life until you found the one that you were going to stay with? How do you talk about somebody that you first met, the very first person you kind of met in the gay Holy Land, which was the piano bars back in the 80s? And Danny has been my beacon, and I just want to tell you a little bit about him, the things he did for me, which is why he's such an amazing father. He came to me in 1988, 89, and I was bitter and bartending in a bar, and he came in and asked me to direct his club act, and I went, all right. And thank God I did, because from that moment on, Danny was the most loyal and loving friend I'd ever had, and the honest-to-God most consistent man I've had in my life besides my family. He helped me through bad relationships, Betty Ford, moving to LA. He is my first call whenever anything does not make sense in my life. I never told you this, Danny, but in my Lifetime movie of what our life was, especially after I introduced you to Don, I thought, this is great. Okay, you guys, I'm going to be a mess for many years, so you guys will be together. And, you know, and then you had a baby, and I thought, oh, wait, we were going to do that. I mean, of course, we were never going to have sex, but no. We were, in my mind, I never told you this, but, oh, no, that'll be the thing. We will have that baby together. And that picture, when you brought Eliza home, I'm bursting with tears because that was your baby and Don's baby. And you two, with Eliza and Jonah, inviting me to be a part of that, taught me how to be a good mother. And it's, again, hard to tell a room full of people how much somebody means to you. So thank God I have an iconic gay rock star next to me. Because let's be honest, if I were you, I wouldn't want to hear me talk anymore. I'd much rather hear her. So, and I didn't burst into tears yet. So I'm gonna just right now let you just take, and we'll go from there. And just, ladies and gentlemen, what's up?
You're so sweet. Danny, you mean so much to this girl here. She is so proud that she introduced you and Dawn, and that you've stayed together. When Linda and I were friends before we were more than I and this guy know. Well, we're lesbians, that's what we do. So, and getting to know you then and now getting to know you as a member of our family is amazing. And knowing how much you are a part of Family Equality Council. You're just not showing up today. You work for these folks. You get in there and you draw people in, and you work tirelessly for gay family issues. All of you do. We have come so far, haven't we? Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. You can feel it tipping, can't you? Every day. And today it's a basketball player, you know. Tomorrow it's a football player. And you know what? They might have families too, because you and I know that the world really is only divided in one way, and that's people with children and people without children, right? That's the only difference between two people. Because once you have a child, you join this, you join this organization of families, and you get very protective of your children. We want them to we want them to enjoy their life and have the best just like everyone else. We hold our breath every time they come home from school, hoping that somebody wasn't mean to them, that they didn't ask them, you send them to preschool and kindergarten, you go, Jesus Christ, what's going to happen when they say, where's your dad, or where's your mom, or something like that. You've given them as much, you've told them, if anyone bothers you, let me know, blah, blah, blah. We worry, we do that, we send them off, and then you have some mother in class with you that says, you know what, my daughter came home, and she said, I want another mommy. And the mother said, well, I looked at her and said, you know what, I could use a wife, yes. Yes. So just our examples, just who we are. Danny, just who you are. We get to do it publicly. It's not always pretty. Sometimes we get messy. But we love our children, period. We become parents. We become step-parents. We have our families. We then join with other families. So isn't it fun going out the lesbian family and then the gay family, and there's the 4 of them, and you just watch people trying to figure it out, right? And it's beautiful, and it's wonderful. And my children play with your children. Your children are better dressed than our children. That's okay.
I have a thought too. I want to jump in whenever.
Okay. And and your son and my son will play more sports than all of us did together. Yes. And I don't know how our daughter got to be the most pretty and pink daughter ever, but that's how it is, because they're individuals.
We have to love the straight children too.
We do, and that's just it. Isn't that our? No, our teenage son came to us and said, "Mom, I'm afraid I'm not gay." And I said, what a strange conversation to have. Yet that's what we've done. Thank you, and thank you.
Oh,
and
wait, what, before?
No, I'm just thanking you as
Okay,
people,
good,
just
like
gay
that.
people. No, that's not it.
You've got your concert wrap-up voice, like, okay,
no,
goodbye.
there's more. No, there's more.
All right.
Okay. Your turn now, darling.
Well, no, I just want to, now that I'm not sobbing inside,
Okay,
I want to thank you guys for honoring Dan, because he is now, like, I'm going to use you as an example, a face of what music is as a gay. Danny is the best person to be the face of this right now. I've seen it, everybody. By the way, his book, which I would like to read all the parts where I'm mentioned, but I don't have my glasses. But give this book, Does This Baby Make Me Look Straight? Well, helps so many people understand, because with Danny's kindness and humor, you see it on the clips. He brings his life as a father to his art and to his work. And Danny, you being the face of gay parenting, I couldn't be more proud. And here comes this, so this is where you take over and wrap it up.
All right. Dan Bucatinsky and Dawn, who just, puts up with all of us. We love you. Dan, we love you. Couldn't think of a better person for this award to go to. The Family Equality Council, thank you. Thank you, Dan. Dan, come up here, get your award. You're an amazing human being.
For that. Oh my God, I'm a wreck. Look how many of you there are. All right. I'm extremely emotional. I'm just warning y'all. I may cry. Don't worry about it. I'm going to be okay, ultimately. No, seriously, I'm so touched, so honored. You have no idea, for so many reasons. I will try to tell you a few of them, the reasons, but know that it's far deeper than I can even talk about. Thank you, Linda. You mean everything to me, and you know that. Melissa, what an honor. From the bottom of my heart, honestly, thank you. Family Equality Council, supporters, guests, my friends and my family. So many of you are here who are like brothers and sisters, have played brothers and sisters of mine, and played mothers of mine. Our rabbi, who helped us through a very, very difficult time with my father, who I wish was here right now, and Don and my friends, Terrence, Christina. I mean, so many people It means the world to me that you're here right now. And Linda, honestly, who would have thought, right? That day I walked into 88's and sat at the bar and ordered a Heineken. No, I didn't finish it. I thought I was there to meet someone from SNL. Did you know that? I thought you were Julia Sweeney. But you're not. Did you know that? You're not Julia Sweeney. And thank God you're not. Thank God you're not. I'm so glad you weren't and you turned out to be who you are. And that you decided to say yes to working with me, which triggered a lifelong friendship. Not only that, what about all the decisions that came after that? I've been thinking a lot about that word lately, decisions. The decision to move to LA, to take a job answering phones with me at the Cannon Theater, please hold. How about the decision you made to introduce me to Don? Yes, Linda is responsible for my marriage of over 20 years to Don. And because of that decision, Linda, because of that, there's not a day, Don, that I don't wake up and feel in my heart, oh, you're on your phone, never mind. You get it. Enough said. Decisions. Those life decisions that shape who we are and the world around us. And what about all the things that we don't decide? Our height, eye color, race, sexuality. That's right. You don't decide if you're straight or gay unless you're a Scientologist. They decide for you. We also don't decide to be born. That's a decision made for us, sometimes by love, sometimes by a broken condom and a six-pack of wine coolers in the back of a PT Cruiser. My mom's here tonight, so I'm not even asking. What? It was a VW wagon. All right. I'm glad I'm here. Thank you. But for the LGBT community, having a family must be a decision. A carefully thought out strategy involving agencies or lawyers, social workers, birth mothers, birth mother letters, background checks, fertility treatments, egg donors, sperm samples, foster care, adoption papers, finalizations, relinquishments. It's not impulsive. It's a long, complicated, wonderful process, and often the government has to be involved. The very same government which continues to be, for the most part, our biggest obstacle. But we've made progress, no question, thanks to decisions made by people brave enough to make them, many of whom you've seen on this stage tonight, many of whom I'm in awe to share a stage with, Edie and Roberta and Jen Chrysler. Decisions made that, as a result, have changed the world. Too many to name, of course, though a few worth mentioning. Why not start with Melissa? Melissa Etheridge, in 1993, not only released the groundbreaking award-winning album, Yes, I Am. What were you referring to? But also decided to boycott performances in Colorado over its passage of Amendment 2, which excluded gays and lesbians from anti-discrimination laws. The fight against Amendment 2 went to the Supreme Court. And in their groundbreaking decision to strike down Amendment 2, Justice Kennedy argued, it identifies persons by a singular trait and then denies them protection across the board. The resulting disqualification of a class of persons from the right to seek specific protection from the law is unprecedented in our jurisprudence. That was 1993. It is now exactly 20 years later. And the Supreme Court is hearing the case about Prop 8's constitutionality and DOMA, and once again being identified by a single trait and denied civil rights, in this case, to love and marry who we want as a result of that trait. In 1997, Ellen DeGeneres came out on national television. Yep, I'm gay, said the cover of People magazine. She talked openly about it on Oprah. And an angry mother in the audience rose to her feet. Why should my kid have to see that in a public place? At the supermarket? I remember wondering, why should your poor kid have to see the hate and bigotry you're teaching him? Why can't people be who they are? And who told you you look good in sleeveless? Honestly, don't stand up on Oprah looking like that. In 1998, NBC decided to put a show on the air called Will and Grace. In 2002, Rosie O'Donnell decided to come out and started advocating publicly for gay adoption. In 2008, America decided to elect Barack Obama as their president. And in 2012, while campaigning for his second term, Obama was the first president who ever decided to speak out in favor of marriage equality. I know. And more specifically, spoke about having the children of same-sex couples at his own family's dinner table. I can't imagine where my life would be had Linda not decided to invite me to play celebrity that night in 1992 as a way of fixing me up with Don. The image of Don trying to act out the clue Rula Lenska by doing the hula has gotten me through many a dark time. Or what if I had decided not to show up? Or had I decided against a first date? Or if Don had decided not to give me a second chance after I spent our first 3 dates lamenting my previous boyfriend and complaining how I'd never, ever be able to find love again? Did I mention I was wearing cowboy boots at the time? And possibly a bolo tie. Yeah, that was a bad decision. We were together over 10 years before we decided we wanted to adopt. 18 months later, we were in a delivery room where we cut our daughter's umbilical cord and her 9-month lifeline to Cinnabons and Marlboro menthols. Just get your baby. Just get your baby. It was a few years later I decided to put my experience as a dad into a book. It was really my attempt to connect my family experience with all families and how we love and all the things we think about and worry about when we love that deeply. I hope the book would just make us all feel less alone about the particular ways in which we're all screwing up our kids. And who knows, maybe it would even inspire some people. Because Don and I were deeply inspired by Dan Savage's book about adopting his son in The Kid. And so was Shonda Rhimes. In fact, it was our admiration for that book, The Kid, that was my bonding moment with Shonda, who adopted, she's a single mom, adopted her 2 kids and who has used the medium of television in an almost subversive way to create worlds on her shows like Grey's Anatomy and Scandal, where characters live without a closet, as complex, flawed, honest, real people who are married or single, want children or have them, adopt them, and love them in any way that they can. They are characters who are both aspirational and inspirational, and I am beyond proud and grateful to be able to play one of them, preferably with my clothes on. Because let's face it, most viewers have eyes. So it's really for you that I say that. I have nothing but love and gratitude tonight for my family, my mother, my sister, my father, who I wish were here, for teaching me the importance of family. For my husband, Don, who for almost 21 years has taught me how to be a better partner, friend, husband, writer, and yes, father. Okay, maybe more like mother. It's true. I have incredible mood swings, and my boobs are always hurting, and I cry a lot. Maybe I'm pregnant, right? I'm grateful, so grateful to the Family Equality Council for all the work you do on behalf of the 3 million LGBT parents in this country and their 6 million children. And speaking of decisions, I hope everybody makes an important one tonight to continue supporting organizations like Family Equality so that one day there will be no need for phrases like marriage equality and family equality, because that's what we'll be, equal. I don't want to cry, so I'm just going to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I have the best gift in the world at home named Eliza and Jonah. And my freedom to be the parent of those two kids is the best gift of all. So thank you very much for this honor.